Good afternoon, I'm Shawn Yao and this is One News Now. The Philippines has suspended all flights from the United Kingdom starting December 24 as experts monitor a more contagious COVID-19 strain in the European country. The World Health Organization is now drafting strategies to prevent the spread of the new variant. Maricel Halili has the details.
President Duterte has ordered the temporary suspension of all flights from the United Kingdom starting 12:01 in the morning of December 24 until December 30 this year. This after a new strain of COVID-19, which is believed to be more infectious, emerged in the United Kingdom. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque says movements of passengers will be restricted following the suspension.
All passengers who have been in the UK within 14 days immediately preceding arrival to the Philippines, including those merely in transit, are also temporarily restricted from entering the country for the same period.
Meanwhile, passengers who are already in transit from the UK, as well as those who have been to the country within 14 days and will arrive before the order takes effect, will be allowed to enter. However, they will have to undergo stricter quarantine and testing protocols.
Such protocols include observation of an absolute 14-day quarantine period in the athletes' village in New Clark City, notwithstanding a negative RT-PCR test result.
Despite the inevitable impact of the temporary suspension of UK flights to the tourism industry, the Department of Tourism supports the decision. Tourism Secretary Bernadette Romulo Puyat says ensuring public health and safety is more important. The Department of Science and Technology, on the other hand, has assured the public that the discovery of the new strain of virus will not affect vaccine production. For its part, the Immigration Bureau says it is continuously monitoring the entry of foreign nationals. The agency is also coordinating with airlines and vessels entering the Philippines to prevent the entry of UK nationals. The World Health Organization has called a meeting to draft strategies on how to counter the new variant of coronavirus. These include limiting travel to contain the spread of the virus. As for the vaccine procurement, Dr. Jaime Montoya tells the chiefs that the delay in vaccines compared to rich nations may be a good news for the Philippines.
One advantage also of this delay is that we'll get to see what will happen with those countries. Pfizer, for example, although there are isolated reports, not many, of cases of anaphylaxis, for example, severe sensitivity reactions, and we have that benefit.
For News 5, Maricel Halili, we are One News.
Local experts are keeping an eye on the new COVID-19 variant as the government rolls out measures to prevent it from entering the Philippines. To give us the details, Greg Gregorio joins us live from Mandaluyong. Greg, what's the latest on this?
Sean, well, the new COVID-19 strain detected in the United Kingdom has not reached the Philippines. The health department says local experts are closely monitoring this variant. Health Secretary Francisco Duque III says experts from the Philippine Genome Center, Research Institute for Tropical Medicine, and the UP National Institute for Health are checking if the new strain is present in the gene sequence of the SARS-CoV-2 in the Philippines from November to December. What is known so far, according to Duque, is that the said variant is more contagious, but there is no evidence yet whether it could lead to a severe infection. As for the temporary ban on travelers from the UK, Duque says the IATF has yet to discuss whether it should be extended to January. In the same briefing, Duque admitted that the issue on the Pfizer deal has affected the public's confidence in the efforts of the government to secure vaccines. He also denied receiving an official document regarding the supposed agreement, which was earlier floated by Foreign Affairs Secretary Teodoro Locsin Jr. Citing logistical challenges, the health chief insisted that the country is not prepared anyway, even if it were true that vaccines from Pfizer were supposed to arrive this January. When asked about his professional relationship with Locsin, Duque said he would rather focus on work and move on from the controversy. Sean, with the continuing talks with different vaccine developers and manufacturers, the government estimates the arrival of the shots in the late first quarter of 2021 or the succeeding months. The government is also working on necessary requirements for us to access vaccine supply for at least 20% of the population through the global initiative COVAX facility. Sean?
Thanks for that update. News 5's Greg Gregorio reporting to us live from Mandaluyong. The Health Department recorded 1,100 new COVID-19 cases on Wednesday. The total confirmed infections are now at 464,000, some 25,000 of which are still active. Quezon City has the most number of fresh cases with 123, followed by Rizal and Manila. 27 people died of the virus overnight, pushing the total death toll to over 9,000. Total recoveries now stand at 429,000 as more than 500 new survivors were reported over the past 24 hours. The UP Octa Research Group has likened the third wave of COVID-19 cases to the surge in infections last June. In an interview with Sa Totoo Lang, Father Nicanor Austriaco said the government and health experts have done their part in cautioning the public about the increasing COVID-19 infection rate.
It is now in the hands of the Filipino people for the next 10 days. So, the wave is here. The question is, can we control its height and prevent it from becoming a tsunami? That is the challenge to the Filipino people.
More stories after this quick break. Keep it here on One News. You are still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. The Philippine National Police tells the family of slain Sonia and Frank Gregorio that they have a strong case against police officer Jonel Nuezca. The minors who witnessed the killings have started to undergo psychosocial intervention. Justine Punsalang has the report.
The Rufino Gregorio family is seen wearing white ribbons around their heads on the second day of the wake of slain Sonia and Anton. For them, the incarceration of police-turned-murderer Senior Master Sergeant Jonel Nuezca does not automatically guarantee justice. Earlier today, officials from the Social Welfare Department fetched the 12 minors who witnessed the killing in Paniki, Tarlac. They underwent psychosocial intervention, the same process Nuezca's daughter went through on Tuesday to address their trauma.
Yung goal po ng critical incident stress debriefing is yung ma-recall po at mabalikan po yung mga pangyayari at magkaroon sila ng realization sa mga nangyari po.
Bakit kailangan maibalik?
Para event po yung mga nararamdaman nila.
On Tuesday night, PNP Chief Debold Sinas visited the wake of Sonia and Anton and talked to the bereaved family. Sinas assured the family of the victims that they have a strong case against Nuezca and that they are safe.
Ang pulis hindi po gagalaw sa inyo. Okay, yun ang kaya po. Pero ingat pa rin tayo. Walang perfectong protection. So, ingat din lang.
Security details have been deployed in the compound of the victims as well as within the residence of the suspect.
Yung pamilya din ng suspect, wala rin naman kinalaman yun, di ba? So, kailangan i-secure din. Baka mamaya mayroon ding mga walang gagawing mabuti, ay mahirap din.
For News 5, Justine Punsalang. We are One News.
PNP Chief Double Sinas is encouraging the 16-year-old girl who took the video of the fatal shooting to testify in court proceedings. But for Alfelgar Triambulo, head of the PNP Internal Affairs Service, witnesses are no longer needed as the footage will speak for itself. PNP spokesperson Ildebrand Usana echoes this, saying the video is already very strong evidence.
Yung Apache case at mismo video would show kung ano po talagang nangyari. Kahit na po sabihin natin meron siyang reasons on valid grounds and all, hindi po ito basihan.
The Social Welfare Department appeals to the public to spare the daughter of police officer Jonel Nuezca from condemnation and judgment. In an interview with Sa Totoo Lang, DSWD spokesperson Irene Dumlao said the 13-year-old child exhibited signs of trauma upon assessment. Dumlao added that the minor is already undergoing psychological interventions. Observers have questioned the reaction of Nuezca's daughter after the cop shot the Gregorios over a heated argument. For its part, child rights group UNICEF has called on the public to refrain from using violent language against the minor.
Hindi nakakatulong yung pagbabash, yung pag-incite ng further judgment o paghuhusga sa social media. Hindi po ito makakatulong sa kanya as we support or we help her recover or cope up from this traumatic experience.
In Cebu, 6 miners are still missing after a landslide at the mining site in Toledo City. News 5 correspondent Jenny Dongon is on the ground and joins us live for an update. Jenny, how's the search operations going so far?
Sean, the search and retrieval operations at the landslide site here in Toledo City, Cebu has been halted. Authorities say they have also to consider the safety of rescuers because the ground's condition remains unstable. 2 days after the landslide occurred at the mining pit, 6 people are still missing while 4 were confirmed dead. Copper or Carmen Copper Corporation or CCC has put the blame on incessant rain which was aggravated by tropical depression Vicky. However, initial investigation shows that a fault line called Barot was also observed at the site. The Mines and Geosciences Bureau says the fault line might have contributed to the landslide as well. Pedro Sipada, chairman of Barangay Biga in Toledo, claims that he had warned about the crack a month ago. Sipada explains that he issued a warning to the company because they're also worried about the safety of the residents. Barangay Biga is just 300 meters away from the mining site where the landslide occurred on Monday afternoon. The LGU assures families of the victims that the search and retrieval operation will resume eventually. They are just awaiting the go signal from authorities who will evaluate the site for the safety of rescuers. Toledo City's Legal Affairs Office has been instructed to look into possible negligence on the part of CCC. This even as the company has passed an independent audit and secured a proof of compliance to safe standard protocols. Let's hear what local officials had to say about the incident.
Even though they're our biggest contributor, but in this administration, we wanted to be transparent na dapat managot talaga kung sino talaga ang mananagot.
Sana makuha yung nag-crack ba? Kinuha nila, pero yung portion ng patungo ng upinpin nila, hindi nila magalaw kasi ang laki.
Sean, all mining operation of CCC here in the area have also been suspended while investigation is ongoing. Meanwhile, CCC also assures the public or the victims that they will do every necessary actions just to address and assess the situation of the victims. Sean.
Thanks for that update, Jenny Dongon, reporting to us live from Toledo City in Cebu. For more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News.